stop in the production vehicles. There's only 4 points in it between Grobler and Jordan and Woolridge and Scholtheimer. And there's a big chase on from the man in Class E. It's Manfred Schroeder and Ward Huxtable in the Ford Ranger. 4 events and 4 different winners in the special vehicle category in this year's ABSA Off-Road Championship give a clear indication of a high level of competition. With this in mind, the prospect of a 5th different winner on the Lesotho Sun 400, round 5 of the ABSA series in the Mountain Kingdom, is a real one. These days, the Lesotho Sun 400 is a scaled-down version of the infamous Roof of Africa rally, but even in many guise, it will provide competitors with some severe headaches. Most of them will start out thinking, all I want to do is try to get to the line. In the meantime, Gary Berthold and Henry Costain took a very popular win in the Ford Motorride 400 in the Limpopo province. And the slogan on the car, the Atlas Copco, says, "You'll be lost without us." It was indeed a case of finding that winning touch again, and it came after some severe setbacks.
Yeah, been a tough season, been an absolutely tough season. A lot of bad luck, a lot of car breakages. Tough time getting out there, but tenacity and sheer willpower has made us endure, and we finally got there in Limpopo and put it on the podium where we wanted it to be.
In typical off-road style, Gary got done in by a friend and a drink or two too many.
Well, it's quite a funny story. In typical style, Brandon Harkis and myself were sitting at the pool at the International Motocross, and he fed me too much gin and tonic lying by the pool, and before I knew it, I'd sold my car. So I was out on my feet without a car to race, and with Atlas Copco in the background saying, "Where to from here?" So we pulled a few strings, made a few typical off-road plans, got hold of Nobles in Botswana, went over there on a Wednesday morning with a trailer behind us to bring home this Porter, and that's what we did. And we're certainly not looking back after that decision. Really a great car. This Atlas Copco Porter, I think, proved its worth at the Limpopo 400 by putting us on the first place at the podium.
The amiable Costain is a veteran of the sport.
Yeah, there's a lot of things started a long time ago. I can still remember the days when we started driving with bakkies, Ford bakkies mainly. And that days, Hannes was driving a Safari, and RP had a Safari as well, and guys like Bux Carlin were there, and Schilling and Nardus, and all the old boys. So some of them are still racing today. And there it all started, but the luck never changed actually to my way. I had a few second places, I had a few third places. I won a lot of regional championships. I think if you come to my house, you'll see there's a lot of trophies, but they actually mean nothing to me. The trophy that's the most important one is the trophies we won 2 weeks ago at the Limpopo race. And all I can say, that was awesome. That was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And I'll have that same route over and over without stickers, without a schedule, as long as we can win it.
Careful, that can be organized. So far this season, Brandon Harkis in a single-seater motorized bat. His teammates Evan Hutchison and Akin Bergman. As well as the father and son combination of Nick and Ryan Harper in the Cartec SA bat. And of course, Gary Berthold and Henry Costain in that yellow Atlas Copco Porter have all made trips to the winner's enclosure. All 4 teams, with Harkis now joined by Masiltra 3 and a twin-seater bat, will again be contenders in Lesotho, along with half a dozen other teams. The motorcycle legend Alfie Cox and Henny Terstegen, also in a motorized bat, are due a win after 2 near misses. While the Silwood brothers, Carl Heinz and Herman, Nardus Alberts and Colin Taylor in the Rapsa bat, and of course Clint Gibson and Mike Brown in the Absolute bat, as well as Naim Mossaji and Rayun Badiana in the Tyrak Jimco, and reigning champions Terence Marsh and Mike Whitehouse in the National Mobile bat are all capable of winning. Marsh and Whitehouse are always absolutely consistent. Once again, a fascinating contest is on the cards between the all-out speed merchants and those crews inclined to take a more measured approach. On this event, however, the odds look to favor the latter. This brings a crew like Marsh and Whitehouse right into the reckoning. The pair have a 100% finish record this season, but are without a win. The Lesotho Sun 400 is, however, a race tailor-made for the likes of Marsh and Whitehouse. A lot of the smart money will be on the pair, but this is a race that can turn into a lottery, and anyone who makes it to the finish will, in all probability, be in contention. Much the same scenario exists in Class B, where no crew has managed to win twice this season. Off-road newcomers Jan and Hendrik Kraai and the Keymax Bat currently lead the class ahead of Swaziland crew John Thompson and Clinton McNamara in a Zarko. Both crews will again be in contention, along with the Edenko Bat entries of Bez Besaidnout and Johan de Bruin, and the other Johan Besaidnout and Etienne Besaidnout, Marius van Vieren and Johan Kutsia in the Bosel Zarko, as well as the veteran Giel Nel and Johan Smallberger in the Bosel Luke Truggy. Former champions Marcus Taylor and Mark de Chalane in the JRE have had a disappointing season so far and will be looking to make amends. Ernest Corbett and Warwick Goosen in the Century Property Developments Bat are also due a return to form, but once again, anyone making it to the finish line will be in with a chance of taking home some solid points. Class S includes a couple of competitors who have fond and not so fond memories of the Roof of Africa. Richard Schilling is a former Roof winner, and Rob Walk a veteran of what was probably the toughest race of its kind in the world, and experience will give them an edge in this one. Reigning champion Schilling and Chris Davies in the Plastotech Aceco have won twice this year and will be the outright favourites, with the Nasho Mobile Raceco pair of Archie Rutherford and Craig Delphire their biggest threat. After a maiden win on the Ford Motorrad 400, the Botswana crew Gary Gillingham and Peter van Vieren in the Shell BMW Raceco will fancy their chances, and Nick Gosler and Andre Botha in the Komponang Hotel Super Team Raceco will have experience going for them too. Championship issues throughout the special vehicle classes are evenly poised. For those with championship aspirations, a rich points tally in Lesotho is a must. Already it's Cox and Tersteege and Marsh and Whitehouse who've got a little bit of a steal on Harkis and Trethui, and Hutchison and Bergman also need a win. The Lesotho Sun 400 starts on Friday the 1st of September. To see the scrutineering, be there at 9 o'clock. And on Saturday, the race